Hurrah. Okay. Let's do this. Hola, my amigos. Right, let me just quickly check the chat, see what's going on. See what's going on. See someone saying they're on their way. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I believe I'm live. But for some odd reason, I can't see anything. Wow. Okay, I see Custard here. Also, my brother, nice to see you. Right, this is weird. I'm not sure what's going on. It's like it's showing up kind of in a new way where the chat is so small. I'm not sure what's going on. But nice to see you too, my brother Custard. How you doing? Right. It's been a long time, so I'm kind of rusty. Obviously, I haven't done a live stream in a very, very long time. But just thought I'd do a nice little happy Easter Bitcoin market thing. I don't know if you noticed today how the market's kind of done its nice little dip. You can probably see on the screen, and also what I'll do is go into that screen so I can show you a little bit more. The same chart that I've been sharing with you guys on Discord. You can see how, we've kind of, well, not kind of, we've literally almost exactly been following this specific trend. So what I want to show you is, if you look at this top line here and this bottom line here, we've been pretty much following this trend line, and we spoke about this as this was the zone. So we said, look, this is the zone that we'll be following. Also, when we started following this area here, we did say that if we fall below this level here, and if we follow this trend line, then we could still trend down. So we did have this trend line here. Of course, you can see how we're bouncing pretty much exactly on this line. Just to zoom in a little bit, just so I can show you, you can see how we're holding this area. So this is a key level for us. Now, one thing you need to understand, it's very rare that we actually hold these kind of levels, and in order for me to show you this, I need to go to another chart. I need to go back to this particular chart, which is the Bitcoin logarithmic chart. And what you can see here is how there's a specific zone, this green area, and we've talked about this before, this green area. Yes, the market could dip below, but it's only briefly. This green zone is like the perfect area for anybody who understands crypto, wants to buy crypto for the long term. This is your zone. And this is what this has been doing all along. I mean, let me try and see if I get a larger one. Yeah, this is better. So just to show you, like, this green zone has always been a key area of buying before big, massive rallies. So obviously same chart, same everything. I haven't changed anything. You can see I will switch this off as well just to kind of show you what I'm talking about. So there are lovely little zones here that you do have to kind of observe, and then you understand where it takes you. So this is on the logarithmic chart, obviously. There's a lot of stuff I can show you guys when we talk about, like, for example, fear and greed and all sorts. Right now, market's in extreme fear, so it's all good, right? This is exactly when you should be excited. That's what I say. This is the perfect time to be excited. I'm going to move into daily just to kind of show you a few bits and bobs as well, so you can see more data. Obviously, if I start switching some of these off, where is it? Yeah, I'm going to switch this off, right? So just to kind of show you a few bits and bobs, right? So we had this situation where we've been coming and touching this 200-day, right? So this is a 200-day moving average. We've literally been coming here, touching it over and over again, trying to get there, but we got rejected. Once we got rejected, there was no ifs and buts. We were going down, but we're not that bad compared to what we could have been, right? So yes, we fell below the 21. Yes, we fell below the 50, but I think compared to where we were here, so I'm going to zoom in just to show you, compared to where we were on this particular zone, where we spent a very, very long time on this particular area. So if you look carefully, when we fell below, so it was around approximately here, we spent a very long time. Excuse me, I'm just trying to see what's going on. You know what? I can't even see the chat. But yeah, let's see. So we spent a very, very long time. We spent approximately 80 days before we started moving back up again. So this is a key number to understand. Like, look, 80 days we've spent, right? And currently, once we got up, yes, we've spent a few days here. How many days was that? This was 27 days, absolutely nothing. And then obviously the most recent one we're spending, and I'm looking at the 21, by the way, guys. I'm not even looking at the 50 or anything like this because they kind of correlate with each other. Obviously, we're looking at the shorter time frame first before we start looking at the longer time frames. And here you can see we're only, 12 days. So for the last 12 days, we've been below the 21-day moving average. Very important number to look at. And of course, if you start looking at the 50-day, then it's a lesser time. It's not actually as bad, right? If you understand what I'm trying to say. But just look at this particular zone here, this area from here to here, where we've been below, right? This zone here. Just by looking at this, I'll get a drawing thing so it's easier. Yeah, didn't realize I got my drawings there. So anyway, from this area to this area, we've spent a very, very significant amount of time. That's what I'm just trying to say here. And also, let me try and get the chat because it's so stupid. Because I really can't see what's going on. Give me a second, guys. Oh, there we are. Right, let me see if I can see what's going on. I only see Custard here. Thank you, Custard. Thank you for hanging around. Of course, I don't think the others got the message. And a lot of the guys are probably just kind of drained down because of all the stuff that they get. And this is one of the reasons why I stopped as well. Because, you see, if you're going to go around pumping the same content every single day, in my own opinion, and this is my personal opinion, I believe you get bored. You get really, really bored. So in order for me not to bore you guys and hopefully, keep you guys in a sane way, like, I don't want to pump it out every day. So I knew that it was better for me to just give you some dates, give you some targets, and then just step back. So I don't know, many of you guys, if you remember, we did a 3 scenarios. We did how, like a projection scenario. We said, look, this could happen. And we mentioned how the end of the March, we could be starting to look a bit bullish. And we did. Don't get me wrong. If this last 12 days looks a bit bearish, guess what? We're still bullish because, this is why I activated this, we've been doing higher lows. So you can clearly see here, we have been doing higher lows. And that's the important thing here. It's like, okay, is the market trending down or is the market trending up? And so far, all we can see is the market is trending up. And that's very important. I see Mustafa here, also my brother. Nice here, nice here. So that's what I see. So, end of the day, for me, I'm looking at a bigger picture. I'm trying to think of things in a macro level. So not in the micro, not the everyday stuff. Oh, guys, look, Bitcoin's going up. Oh, look, Bitcoin's going down. It's pointless. It's pointless, right? When we start looking at things in a macro level, it's a whole different perspective. And on a macro level, just look how bullish we have been. Of course, you might say, what do you mean by how bullish? We went up and we came down almost like 80, 90%. Yes, but it's not the overall picture. But what you need to look at is the trend. And the trend is telling us that June 2021, right? June 2021. On a weekly, this was our higher low, right? And we're looking at these massive data points here. Excuse me 1 second. Let me just quickly just sort this out. So what we're looking at is these massive data points here, which actually show us what's been really going on. So we see this was the low that we had, and then we had a massive rally up. And then we came back down again, but this was a higher low compared to this. So on an overall, longer time frame, we can see that we are still bullish. We haven't actually been bearish. We did not create a low. We did not go below this, because the moment we go below this, we are officially in a bear market. And ignore these 250 because they're not actually accurate, right? Because this is now giving you 200 week. It's not a 200 day anymore. It's a 200 week, which is close to almost 4 years. When you look at the 50 week here, this is close to a year's worth of data. And so far, what you can see is we've just, right, for the first time, we've just become bearish, right? So you can see here from this particular zone to this particular zone, for the last few months, we started, like it was in December 2021, where we started to become a little bit bearish. But we're not absolute. We're still kissing this area here. That means we're not totally bearish here. Okay, so that's what you need to understand. This could easily bounce back up again. We have absolutely, no reason not to bounce back up again. So again, on a macro level, you see a whole different picture. Of course, things change when we start looking at the micro level. One second. Let's bring it here. When you start looking at it micro level, you're seeing everything. And this is where the confusion happens, because too many people are looking at the short term. Short term is only important if you're trading on a daily basis or a weekly basis. But if you're looking at a macro level and you're investing for a good, better future or something like this, and of course, I just want to get this, I'm not a financial advisor. So please do understand, not a financial advisor. So anything I say here is basically just for entertainment and obviously a little bit of education. But that's what you're seeing, guys. That's exactly what you're seeing. So, if there's any questions, just fire away. But I just want you to understand why it's not important for us to come on every single day and pump out nonsense, because it's just nonsense, honestly. It doesn't make any sense, people coming out and just giving you target or trying to kind of pump you up. It doesn't make any sense, in my opinion. These are just guys who are just looking for content, just pumping, probably dumping as well. And I don't want to be part of any of that stuff. I know a lot of you guys are keen to know about paradexes and where we are right now. So with paradexes, it's almost complete. In fact, I am actually speaking. I've actually having some email conversations with a company who actually make exchanges. So they have their own servers, they have their own everything, and I'm trying to do a partnership with them basically. So try and have our own exchange, whatever, however big or small it is, have our own exchange connected to Paradex as well. So then you can actually go and buy, sell, trade, do whatever you want on our exchange. So that will be something custom. So it's a separate thing. So let's see how that goes. I have asked for their audit reports and their security reports. Basically, I want to know how the users' funds and everything is kept. So maybe we'll partner with them. If not, we build our own custom one. So that's going on. Mustafa, I see your message. Yes, we will talk about F. No worries, bro. Just hold on tight with me. So that's what's happening. Regarding the protocol itself, just got to finish off the white paper. I'm having what's known as a writer's block. I actually wrote 80 pages and then I deleted all 80 pages because it didn't convince me. It was just, for me, it was just too much info. And I think a lot of people would get too confused reading too much info. So to simplify it, I've written another 15 pages and hopefully I can reduce it down a little bit more and probably have a short paper and a long paper. So people who want to understand more can see more, but not every last detail about it. And people who don't really want to see too much, but just the brief information, will have a short paper as well. So that's what I'm working on right now. Also methodology regarding how we will be kind of initiating the technical sale. The reason I say this is because we're not going to be actually selling directly anything. We are going to be on a launch pad. That's a different story, but there will be a pre-sale, and a pre-sale normally, if you do sell assets, then it does fall into the category of securities, and then you have all sorts of other issues. We don't really want to go down that route. So we want to have a complete different methodology. And for that, we have come up with a strategy using NFTs. I don't know if you guys remember the first ever NFT collaboration I did with Modifiable Arts, remember? And I mentioned this, I said, I'm not personally interested in NFTs at this present moment unless I build my own or launch my own NFT. And we have come up with a methodology in order to launch a product via the NFT. So that's going to be more interesting. There's going to be more writing on this as well. And, we are working towards this. So that's going to be definitely happening sooner than later. Actually, I'll be making some announcements. I'm just waiting for the artwork to be complete. We do have our resident artist who is kind of busy or on holiday right now. So as soon as he's back, he'll finish off the stuff and then we should be ready to roll with this. So yes, some crazy stuff going on there. Now let's move on to Ethereum. So just to reiterate, Paradex is coming out very soon. And once it does, then this channel will probably start talking more about how paradexes works, what it does, and this and that. And of course, none of it's going to be any financial advice, because we don't give you any financial advice. Everything is very risky. Whether you invest or not, it's up to you. But we're going to talk about the technology. We're going to talk about the use cases, the utility. That's what we're going to talk about. Now let's move over to Ethereum and see what Ethereum is doing. Give me a second. Let's go to Ether. Ether. Now, in short, I mean, if I was to, if someone's going to ask me, like, okay, what's your, how do you feel about Ethereum and this and that, right? I'm super bullish right now. Ultimate super bullish. But of course, and this is for you, Mustafa, you should have realized one thing now, I mean, or forever basically, that whenever I talk about the markets, I actually talk about Bitcoin more than anything else, right? You should know this. I always talk about Bitcoin more than any other cryptocurrency on this planet, solely for one reason, and it's to do with the dominance. When you look at the dominance of Bitcoin, you can realize that it still owns a massive share of that market. So ultimately, momentum also moves with it. So whenever it's bullish, everything else is bullish. Whenever it's bearish, everything else is bearish. Of course, Ethereum is starting to create its own new trend, but not quite there yet. We will still be waiting. So if you just look carefully, you see the correlation, right? So you see the total market correlation here. This is the total market. This is the Bitcoin market. And then you start looking at Ethereum, and what you see is the same thing. Absolutely the same thing happening. And it's the same, these higher lows. So with the trend is exactly the same. But I am a little bit more bullish on this particular round on Ethereum. So the amounts that have been locked, they're locked. Okay, those F2.0 staking stuff, they're done and dusted. So there's no use talking about it, because you're not getting anything back until it's launched, right? And even if it is launched, I want to still keep it staking, because then there's nice staking rewards and whatnot. BTC, it's done its thing, it's doing its thing, it's going to do its thing. So there's a few parts about BTC. It's done its thing, as in it's moved from where it was, the bottom, and it went all the way up to 70,000. That's when it's done its thing. It's doing its thing means it's come back to the bottom of the market, reset the whole thing, right time to basically re-enter the market if people are interested. And then hopefully within the next year or two, I'm just going to over exaggerate this, so understand me carefully. Within the next year or two, we should see a pump because of the halvening and all sorts of other stuff coming in. So whatever price we see now, we're kind of, buying during the bad sentiment, during the negative sentiment, right? During the fear in the market, we're buying into the market in order to prepare for what's about to come in a year and a half's time. So that's BTC. Now, Ethereum, a lot of the price that's holding right now is to do with the anticipation of F2.0 coming, also because of all that money that's already been locked in. So remember, a lot of supply has been taken off the market. And I think Ethereum has a great chance to actually break away from BTC and probably even lead. So I'm extra bullish. I'm thinking about Ethereum in the sense that if I was to go and invest some fresh funds right now, Ethereum would definitely be one of my top choices, if not my number one choice right now. There are plenty of others, and I know a lot of you guys want me to talk about altcoins and this and that, and I really don't want to. The reason is look, I think we've got about 19,000 coins. I don't even remember last time I refreshed this. Let's refresh this. That was 18,000 last time I saw it. Yeah, almost 19,000. So it gets a bit stupid. When you start looking at all of this, it gets really, really stupid. But there are some good coins. There are some good projects, and of course the good projects that we're talking about, like, I mean, of course, Luna's a different story. I'm not even going to talk about Luna anymore. We talked about Luna, we talked about Solana. These were 2020 projects that we should have been, people who follow this channel should have already found benefit from, right? These are 2020 projects, 2021 projects. That's what they are. This is a 2017, 2018 project. So again, people who know about Cardano, I know a lot of the newbies that have come in, they're like, oh, Cardano's crashed. Oh, Cardano didn't do anything. No, you're wrong. Cardano's done fantastic for all of us, right? Those of us who invested in Cardano when it was time to invest, we did fantastic. Those of us who bought Luna when it was time for Luna, we did fantastic. Those of us who bought Solana when we were talking about Solana did fantastic, right? Those of us who didn't buy, who did not buy any XRP during the hype did fantastic, right? So what you understand is basically there was the time for everything. I mean, for BNB, 2018 was the year for BNB, right? So we did BNB, whatever. Right now, if we sell here, forget the all-time high, even if we sell here, we're still in profit. So ultimately, there are coins that we've done a lot, like Avalanche. Top coin, even now I think it's undervalued. Even when it went to this all-time high, it's still not enough. It's still undervalued. Luna, highly undervalued. This all-time high price is nothing. It should be even more. And of course, the more utility they bring in, could be worth even more. Solana is another one of them, right? So if you look at, there's plenty of coin. I mean, DOT. Think about it. I've been holding on to DOT for a very long time and only to participate in the parachains. And I did. And through parachains, I discovered a few more projects that I am very, very interested. But the reality is those projects are not going to be alive or not going to do anything or show anything, until 2024. They're saying about 2023 December-ish, but I'd say 2024 to be safe, right? So until then, we're not going to see anything with these coins. So again, we need to, look and think forward, right? Look at the market for what it is and say, okay, there has been coins. Do we hold on to them? Or do we sometimes just take our initial investments out, leave some profits, or maybe take some profits out, and then just wait for the market to give us something else? And that's what I've done. So I've mentioned this many times on many of my videos where I've gone in, I've taken my initial out, I've recycled that initial into something else, and then I've ended up with another coin. You may have seen, I mean, if you're new to the channel, you may have seen my intro video on the channel that says I'm buying 1,000 cryptocurrencies. And it's no joke, but I think I've probably accumulated. This is the problem. I didn't even buy them, but I've probably accumulated close to, I would say, about 100 different cryptocurrencies just from these kind of participations, airdrops, and this and that, and all these, staking rewards and all these launch pads and launch pools. And I've accumulated a lot of them. I've dumped a lot of them and I've accumulated a lot of them. Again, these are freebies. So there are gems and there are no gems, right? So that's the kind of a thing you got to look at, right? So there are thousands of coins here. I mean, obviously, I know a lot of you guys know this as well. I've talked about this. I am very, very bullish on Kronos right now. Kronos, I think they are simplifying things a lot more compared to other exchange coins. They're very, very dedicated. And I think they've got a good future. This all-time high is absolutely nothing. I think it's got an opportunity to go even higher. Of course, there are other coins as well in the market that we should be looking at. I mean, Uniswap, I think it's had its time. I wouldn't hold on to this any longer. So that's a different story. No, I don't, bro. So, Stephen, thank you for putting a message in there. I don't have any massive information about Matic. Matic itself, the only information that I personally know that, you know, it's been partnering up with what's it called? Unstoppable domains and also other stuff as well. They're doing a lot of layer 2 stuff, right? But I think again, Matic itself, yes, it's got great opportunity, but what you want to be careful about is companies like Matic or BNB, because they're so cheap, right? A lot of these projects that are launching on them, people are flocking to them, and a lot of these projects that come along with the hype in these products end up being scam projects. So right now, if you look at the entire market, you'll find the biggest scammers are active on BNB. The biggest scammers are active on BNB. So it's kind of freaky. And then the second biggest are on Polygon. And what you'll find on Polygon as well, I found this, and I spoke about this on this channel as well. A lot of the products or a lot of the projects that are launching on Polygon, great projects by the way, and they're alive. They're not scams, right? But you find the Matic founders are involved in one way or another. So I'm thinking to myself, what are these Matic founders doing? Are they creating this whole ecosystem for themselves and just making more and more and more money while we're constantly investing? So I did make a video maybe about 4 or 5 months ago, 6 months ago, and I said, I'm off Matic. Now, there is only one thing I still own on Matic. On Matic, I own a couple of unstoppable domains. That's about it. And the moment I could transfer them over to another chain, I will move it over. But I do have a couple of, as I said, websites on Polygon. Other than that, I don't want to touch Polygon. The currently for me the best chains that I'm looking at, right? If I want to build something, Kronos, definitely Crow. I'm looking at Crow. I might want to build something on Crow. Polkadot is definitely on the top of my list. I want to build something on Polkadot. And maybe, and this is a kind of a hint, for paradexes, we might even use Avalanche for paradexes, basically. So yeah, I mean, look, what news or no news, it doesn't make much of a difference, all right? The most important thing you need to understand is when the market moves, everything moves. And right now, I've mentioned this to most of the people that I know on the groups and everything as well. And also, I got to change a lot of the details, right? I've mentioned this to everyone as well. I said, look, guys, where we are right now is like a perfect entry zone. So, of course, this is not a financial advice, but a perfect entry zone for us to start moving back up. Because now that we've done, we're following this trend line, the next leg up, and I'm talking about leg up, not down, because leg down brings us here, which is great. If it does, there's bigger discounts. But a leg up will now try and move back towards the top, and that only means testing the higher highs, right? Because obviously if you start looking, so we've got this area here, we've got this area here, these are the two highs we've had. Next leg should take us somewhere around here, and we've talked about this again previously on videos way back. But so far we're trending up, and that for me is positive, and I think the market is going to show some moves. So yeah, I mean, from December to now, we've been looking kind of bearish, but that's just how the market kind of resets itself. I'm sure I've shown you guys this whole thing before as well. Let me try and see if I can get something. Give me a second. Let me just get a little empty space. I just want to show you something. So remember how I told you, whenever the market moves up, right, say it moves up a leg, it will always try and come back to about 50%. That's perfectly fine. And then if it does that, it will go and test around this 50% here and then move up. And that usually becomes your resistance. And then in the future, it becomes your support. But if it does fall, as long as it doesn't fall below this area here, then it's absolutely fine. It can still continue. So see, this is the pattern we look for. And this is exactly what you'll find that BTC has been doing right now, where it's gone up, right? And remember what I showed you just a little while ago. If I should pull this back up again, you should understand more. All right, so let me just show you this, and I'll show you this on a weekly because it makes so much more sense if you look at it on a weekly. So this pattern that we drew here, right, how this bullish momentum trend line works. If you start looking at this just here, and you see how this whole line works. I'll take the drawings off just to kind of show you exactly what's going on. So you see this is how high we pumped, and we never came back to this 50%. So everything here was good, as long as we don't come below this line here, we're good. And now we can actually do a second leg and start moving up. So you can see these moves are quite cool, because the first one, for example, here, done this, and then it's settled here. And now we can do another one of these longer power moves and move up again. So yeah, Matic, the 19,000 coins, they can all come out with the best news in the world, the absolute best news in the world, but none of that matters because BTC still has the biggest dominance, 40 something percent. What's that? Let me just check. 41.2%. And then if you add Ethereum, the number 2 coin, that has 19.3 combined together, that's almost 60% dominance. So you've got 18,900 and whatever coins competing with these two. That should speak volumes for itself. So great news or not, it doesn't make much of a difference. Everyone wanting lower prices loves to smash up and everyone hitting the sideline. Losses out and has to buy in at higher price. I believe it's going up, not down to 30. No chances. Yes, that's what I said. So again, on my Discord channel, I have mentioned this to everybody else. I said, look, guys, and even on Twitter, believe it or not, Stephen, I've actually said this on Twitter. My most recent tweet was on Twitter, and I said, look, this is the moment, right? You buy or not to buy is the question, like everybody's keeping asking. And I said, just look left. When you've had a situation like this where we come back down, when we're looking at the log chart, and let me switch the drawings off to make things more cleaner for you. All right. Yeah, that should actually, I'm going to make it on 2 weeks so we can get more data on the same thing and still keep the chart fairly big. Right. So what you're looking at here is these particular green zones here. That's all I'm talking about. For me, nothing else matters. We only talk about this green line. How often do we come to these green zones? That's the key here. How often do we come to these green zones? And whenever we've been in this green zone, has been the perfect area. And everyone's talked about how, I wish it could come back there. Well, it's come back here. What are you doing now? I mean, imagine you are given an opportunity to come back here, and we don't stick around these areas very, a lot, because what you note, what I'm trying to say, sorry, what I'm trying to say here, it will make total sense to you, right? Watch this. So we've spent some time here around the green zone. Let's just pick up this area here, November 2011. We've spent some green time in the green zone here. How long did we stay at that $2.36? How long did we stay there? We didn't, because the next time we were moving back up and we're constantly trending up, we were actually having higher prices. So everyone's hoping for a $2 around that green zone. But no, the green zone is moving back up again, and we go to $4, $5, $6, and then we're here already at $16, right? So you see what the market is doing. It's giving you opportunities. It wants you to grab those opportunities. If you don't grab it on time, you're not going to get it back again. So what happens after that? We have a pump. And what does the pump do? Takes us from $16 or $17. You can look on the right hand side here. So we've got a $16 here, and we pump all the way to what? $1,260. I mean, just think about that. So then again, the market comes back and says, okay, do you know what? We're going to give you another opportunity. So the market's now giving us one more opportunity. But sadly, we're not going back to that $2 anymore. We're in the green zone again, but this time it's 200, and so it's $200. So the green zone is $200. And then of course it's been giving us a chance. And if you start doing some calculation on it, it gets more crazy. So it comes down to the green zone. It sticks around the green zone, right? For 60 bars, 60 times 2 weeks. So that's what, 120 weeks? 120 weeks, that's like what, almost 2.5 years. So it sticks around this area. It says buy, buy, buy. I'm giving you an opportunity before the next pump, and nobody even wants to, because they think it's going to go even lower. They're expecting it to go even lower. Would you believe this? But of course the market's creeping up, staying within this zone. There's so much fear in the market, and then the market suddenly moves. And what happens when it suddenly moves? It's back. It starts shooting up to $21,000 or $20,000. So again, you need to understand these things. The reset, the opportunity comes when you're in this particular zone. And we've had that opportunity. We came back to the zone. Remember, guys, this was the first test. Let me zoom in. This was the first test. Look at this. We didn't fall below. I mean, I would love to have it below, but we didn't fall below. And this was it. This was the indication that, yes, we could be around this green zone forever. We could be here for another 5 years. But what people don't understand is the next 5 years, this green line isn't going to suddenly just go and do something like this, right? Watch this. It's not going to go like this. No, the green line is still going to be trending up, because of this. This is based on supply versus demand ratio, and also how many are being mined. So it's to do with the halvening and everything as well. So it takes into account all of this data. This is all plugged into this. Do you know what I mean? And this is doing this continuously, and it's following that Fibonacci perfectly. So this is something a lot of people don't understand, that the opportunity levels are right now. Yes, it could dip a little lower. Of course, it could dip a little lower. I would love it I would love to see it a little bit lower than where it is now. I mean, who wouldn't? How many people would want to say, I wish I could get it for a 30K again? Well, that would be the opportunity, but are you ready to pick it up when it comes back to that 30K? That's the question, But this is the opportunity, because from now, all I'm seeing is this is creating higher lows. The trend seems to be super solid. And ultimately, if you look carefully, doesn't matter what chart you put it on, log chart, or you put it on without a log chart, it's the same story. Doesn't matter where you put it. Nobody needs to do anything here. What we see is that we are trending up. We've been trending up, and this is a low. This is a low. So Steven says, I don't get why people can't see its massive opportunity. No, they can't, because the problem is too many people are kind of, and this is the common problem. So Steven, I'm not sure how long you've been watching this channel, but I haven't made a live for a few months now. because I'm fed up of repeating the same thing. I'm not here for the hype. I don't want your money. I don't want your views. I don't want nothing. And you know what? Saying all of this, right? This is so funny. I say I don't want your views. I don't want anything. My channel gets quite a few views. I didn't even realize this. I was looking at the where is it? Let's go to YouTube. Hold on. This was quite funny when I looked into YouTube. I was kind of shocked. I was like, whoa, is this me? My channel. I mean, I was shocked. I was like, what? I mean, just look at this. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Sorry, I haven't got my glasses on, so obviously when I'm looking at the screen, I'm seeing some crazy stuff here. I mean, just look at this. I mean, I was just looking at these analytics and I was like, what the hell? You know, what the hell is going on here? I mean, look at this. This is crazy. Watch this. This is absolute insanity. Absolute insanity. Um, for a small channel like mine to get this kind of pump, and I haven't even done a video since, let's have a look. Since when was this? Since March the 17th was, and that wasn't even a live stream. The last live I did was, and I'll show you, the last live I did was, is it a live? Yeah, this is the live. This is I don't think this is a live. This is the live. The last live I did was in February. February. I did a live in February because I kind of slowed down. I was like, do you know what, guys? I'm just one of those. I'm not into like kind of constantly pumping out nonsense. Uh, I smoke wacky backy. I can see, bro. You know what? If you do, you do. You know what I mean. But end of the day, if you're seeing a bigger picture, you're seeing things more clear than most people. That's the most important thing here, because you're able to look into the macro aspect of things. Too many people are jumping in with the hype. They fall into the trap, right? So, for example, there are guys out there with massive followings, by the way, on YouTube, and that's their bread and butter, by the way. So, what they do, they'll go and they'll pump something, and then they, or dump it on you, or do whatever they do. But they'll do this because that's how they actually monetize or gain momentum. And people don't understand this is their business. This is their business. It's so cringy. Some of these guys, I mean, the way they dress up, the way they talk, the way they act. It's just so it's cringy. I'm telling you, I can't do that, brother. For me, it's like, do you know what? Just stay humble. You made money, so what? I don't need to know how much money you got, because at the end of the day, you're not going to show it to me, right? I'm not going to take it off you. But at the same time, I don't want to monetize you. My channel's monetized already. That's a different story. Let YouTube pay me whatever. It's just me taking money from YouTube and Google. That's a different story, right? But I don't need to be taking your money. Let's try and create value. End of the day, a lot of things people don't understand. There's ways of creating actual value into the business and all sorts of other stuff, right? So in this space, for me, I've always been forward thinking. I've always done projections, not predictions, because predictions, you can't predict. You don't have a crystal ball. Nobody can predict, right? So I don't predict. I do projection. I say, well, this is the scenario. Based on this, this is a theory. This could possibly happen. So I'm always being hypothetical, right? And then we just leave it there. But some of the scenarios we use maths, and we let the maths do the talking for us rather than us. We let the charts do the talking for us rather than myself. Like when I say us, I'm talking about myself. But I let the chart do the talking. I mean, why would I need to say anything if the chart is telling me something else? Like, for example, let's do a nice little one here. So here's a good example. We see where we are right now, and we can see what our stochastic RSI and RSI is telling us. That yes, we're coming down. We could potentially even come lower, but then we could easily flip. So yes, we are looking bearish, means we got opportunity. This is your dollar cost averaging opportunity. Because when it flips up again, what's going to happen then? We're going to go up. And the price doesn't start going up when we're back here. The price starts moving as soon as we start flipping from here. So you see, this is a great example on the weekly to see this. Yes, we're bearish on the weekly, but are we any lower than we were before? No, we're not. How low can we go? A little bit longer. It doesn't matter. We can stick around this low area for a long, long time until we pump up. And when we pumped up, it's too late. So the opportunity levels are here. People don't take them. Mustafa says 10% Shamin Bai, and then 100%. 10% what, bro? 10% what? 10% what, my brother? 10% what? That's the question here. But yeah, so I mean, I don't know if you just noticed. Look, I just flipped it on the monthly. Oof. And let me show you some really, really good data here, right? This is on a monthly candle, right? This is beautiful stuff. So on the monthly, we see that we have our peak. We have our peak. All right, that's all we have, our peak. You know, we've got a higher low here, perfect, and we have a peak here. So looking at this, that we should be trending bearish now. And check this out, right? This data is so beautiful. So on the monthly, what you see is zoom in for you. So this is what you're seeing. We had our peak and we started coming down, and we've been bearish for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. We've been bearish. We've come and tapped on the 21 moving average monthly. 21 month moving average, 21 month. Just look at the 21 month. Beautiful. And then what we've done is look at this stochastic RSI and RSI. So we've come with this RSI. We haven't even hit that low. Check this out. We're still trending up, right? So this is great news here. We're still trending up. Also, if you look at this area here from this particular zone, look at this. We're still trending up. We're on the trend. And then we do one other magic here. What's this? Check this out. We started flipping bullish here. So now if we look for correlation and we say, okay, let's see correlation. Let's see where what all of this shows us. So it shows us where we started becoming bearish, right? That's what we're looking at here. So let's get rid of the drawing and let's just focus on the candles, nothing else but the candles. Let's just zoom into all of this and see what's going on. Right. So what we see here is the first time we started to become bearish was actually here. Look, it's even indicating this on this particular zone. So if I zoom into this area, look at this. So February 2021, we actually flipped bearish on the monthly candles. Now that's forward thinking, macro level. We already know we're supposed to be afraid. So were we afraid? Partially. Were we really afraid when we did start going down? Very much, right? But what happens then, right? So after that, obviously, market does its thing. We're being cautious. We start to exit, and we also exited around here. We started to exit. We're all happy. Everybody saved the money. But look where we are now. Look where we are now, and look where this particular same scenario happened the previous time. Look at this. The previous time. So we were bearish all the way down here. We started becoming bearish. Flatline here, complete flatline for months and months and months. And then we flipped bullish. And we flipped bullish here, which was March 2019. We flipped bullish. And you all know when I re-entered the market. I'm not going to say anything else, but we flipped bullish. What did we just do now? What are we doing now on the stochastic RSI? You got to zoom in to see this because some people still find it difficult to understand what all of this means. Look when we flip bullish. Look carefully on the date, March 2022. We flip bullish. So we know we're ready to make our move. So when does it happen? God knows. I know everybody wants an easy answer. All right, when's it gonna happen? No, God knows. Because at the end of the day, this is something I'm not going to tell you. I'm not here to tell you when it's going to happen. All I can do is show you what the chart says, exactly as I mentioned to you. We only go by what the chart says. The chart is right now telling us that the moves are already prepared. The moves are already about to happen. It's already started in March. Just like it did in 2019, it did here. The same thing is happening. You can see after 2019, it has never done it again until now. And remember, you always find out when it's too late. Because when people find out, they found out here. We were bullish from here, and people found out here. And currently I'm bullish from here, and people will find out we're bullish here. So hopefully you understand the macro perspective of certain things. I think I've spoken too much. Let's go into the chats and see what's going on. Rather than me looking at the phone, I can look here right now. So Hmm. Wacky wacky. Yeah. Steven says it all. Yes, hopefully it does. Hopefully it does. But you know what? I just hope people see the bigger picture, because the bigger picture is the key. Stop looking at your hourly stuff. I've seen guys show 5 minutes. I'm seeing a YouTube guy pre-record his video on a 5 minute candle, show it to the world with 500,000 subscribers. And I'm thinking, hold on, you recorded this 4 hours ago. Those 5 minutes are long gone, my friend. So, what relevance does your data have to me? What use does your data have to me? Tell me something about the future, but they don't. I've seen guys who go live and they're showing 15-minute candles. Look, 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 we're about to do a pump. Well, if you look at a bigger candle and you look at a trend, and then if I zoom back in to a 15-minute candle, I can tell you if it's going to be bullish or bearish. But you can't use that. You can't use that as data points. Anything less than a daily, you cannot use. Even a day, you cannot use a daily candle. For your overall trend, you cannot use daily ones. What is it? You can figure out the bounces and you can say it's going to bounce here, it's going to do this, like we've been doing. And I've been sharing my chart publicly on my Discord group. There's chart link. I've been sharing that with everybody. Okay, this same chart, this same link, whatever it is, right? I've been sharing that with everybody. I mean, what? Let me see. Hold on. Let's get something here. So I'm just gonna do something quite silly here, because I know some people might say, well, we can't see that. We can't see your chart. Well, here, I'll do something even more better for you guys. Yeah, that should be okay. Boom. Here you go. This chart thingy, the link is here for you guys. So yeah, anybody watching this video, if you want to follow this chart and say, oh, well, he's just chatting nonsense and whatnot and this and that. I don't know if they show you when these charts get updated, but by all means, copy this chart, do whatever you want. It's there. We've had this chart for, I mean, coming close to a month now. I think first time we drew this was about 10 months ago or 11 months ago. So sorry, coming up to a year now that we started doing this chart. We've got other charts before this, but there's just charts there. Most of by the way, all these indicators that I'm using, I don't, as you can see, I'm not really displaying all the indicators because I'm not really using all of them. But if you wanted to, I think all the indicators come with it, obviously, depending on your plan. So I've got a pro plan. So depending on your plan, it depends on how many indicators you can actually see for yourself or show to yourself. So that's a different story. So I can't really say much about that. But yeah, it's all there for you guys. You will never lose money playing long game. Of course, never, never. On the long haul, never. That's the key. It's all about thinking forward. Like, for example, I'll give you a good example. So I've worked on 3 cryptocurrency projects myself, and I'm talking about personal cryptocurrency projects, but I've never launched any. I've worked on it, I've experimented it, I've played around with it a little bit. It's all experience, right? It's part of learning, understanding, but I've never launched it because my vision is further beyond this short-term thingy. So if I release these, I can release it, I can pump it, make a little bit of money, yeah, go and buy a Lambo or something. But the point is it's short-term gains. That doesn't help. Have a long-term vision. So for me, the long-term vision is to build a whole ecosystem, is to, build this great community, to build an actual decentralized exchange, probably some sort of a game, some sort of a metaverse game or something, probably a metaverse where you don't need an NFT, you know what I mean? But something crazy, like, actual real use case, have something fun that people can actually use. So that's the kind of vision I have, is like, leave something behind, because cryptocurrency is not about taking away. People like, let's just put it this way. You got Satoshi Nakamoto, the guy who made Bitcoin, has like 5 million coins sitting in his wallet from whenever he done it. Not to talk about the first batch of coins that he had. So there's about approximately 5 million coins or whatever that sitting in his wallet. He hasn't taken a single one of them. He or she, by the way, hasn't taken a single one of them out. And you just could have wondered to yourself, well, why didn't he take it out? Why did he have access? He could have easily taken it out, even when it went to a penny. Think about it. But he didn't. Why? Because the vision is bigger than the short-term gains. So your long-term vision is much more greater than the short-term gains. And that's how things should be in the crypto sphere. A lot of people don't think like this. Like Luna, one of my favorites. Maybe the three, four founders are kind of stupid, or not stupid, but they do sound kind of dodgy. But I do like the idea. I've never thought of them to be any dodgy guys, because what they're thinking is very similar to how I am. They're building an ecosystem, and they've got this long-term vision. And so far, they've been succeeding because the vision is so far ahead. They've been doing very well. I mean, think about this. They've created Luna, and then if you destroy the Luna, you get UST. You can go and do that. And they've used the very same USD that they produce to buy BTC. I mean, come on, guys. Come on, guys. Now that was a vision. Let's create something. Let's create value from that something. Let's destroy that something. Let's make something else. And then once everybody else is comfortable with that something else, we're going to use the something else to buy Bitcoin. From nothing, we become something. Wow. Power. $10 billion worth of BTC being bought by the Luna Foundation. With what? UST, their own coin. Can't go wrong with that. That's a long-term vision. And I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here. Obviously, I'm not doing any financial advice because that's not something what I do. I've got no advice regarding your taxes or anything like this. Most people in cryptocurrency either start off really rich or start off really bankrupt. And rich usually can be bankrupt, and bankrupt could be usually rich. So whatever the case is anyway. But protect your assets. Try and stay off the centralized exchanges as much as possible. They're not really that beneficial, trust me. Of course, centralized exchanges, your KYC, AML, yeah, a lot of drama. And this is not just drama that we can actually talk about now. I believe there's far more drama in the game for us in the future as well, especially with CBDC, but that's another story for another day. I don't want to talk about it today. But I do want to thank all of you guys for sticking with me. I want to thank all of you guys for listening to me all this time. Even though not many people came in today, I understand it was very late. It was very disorganized. I just suddenly just popped up, and I'm not in my daily routine anymore as well. But I will try and do another one on Monday, next Monday as well. So watch out. So I'm telling you in advance, next Monday I'll do another one. So I hope more people show up on the live, and then we can move forward from there. And within that time, of course, don't lose any money. Don't go around trading stupid money on the stupid pump signals and this and that. Avoid those. You don't need to be in any pump signals and this and that. And as I said, I will be definitely launching more and more information on our project at a later stage, once the paper and everything is ready. Stephen says, where you from, Bubby? I'm from UK, need new place to trade, hate Coinbase. I'm from UK too. I'm in London. We don't, so Coinbase, okay, Coinbase is great for some stuff. So obviously, if you've ever touched any institution stuff or any centralized stuff, then stick to Coinbase. It's a lot more easier for your fiat gateway. So anything to do with fiat, intro, getting in and out is actually a lot more easier if you're using Coinbase Pro, not Coinbase the baby stuff, the stupid one, the blue one. Use Coinbase the black one, which is Coinbase Pro. You do save on some fees, and it's a good fiat intro, gateway to go in and out and play with larger funds. Definitely much more safer. If not, then obviously the next obvious choice would be Binance. Southampton, you're not that far, just up the M23. So yeah, that's not that far. I think you're about like what, maybe an hour's drive from where I am, basically. But yeah, so the next obvious choice would be Binance, where you can do also other stuff. Again, centralized exchange. You're with Pro. Okay, Pro has its limitations. So Pro, obviously, you've probably realized there's not many coins available there. Um, Binance definitely has a lot more coins, but again, it's not as flexible. The problem is with regulations and KYC and everything. So I don't know if you watched the video in the beginning. I am talking to a company right now in regards to actually creating a decentralized cryptocurrency exchange. 40 minutes at 120. Of course, of course. Only the M25 cameras, if as long as they're not working. But yeah, so what was I saying? Yeah, so that we are working on a decentralized version, and as I said, they've already got a ready-made solution. So I'm planning a partnership with them, but only if the security information that I've requested is good. If it's not, then I'm not interested. I'd rather have it built at a later stage. So, because it's all about security, because there's a lot of responsibilities. Like, I'm not into the hype game. I don't even care if nobody uses the technology that we are providing, but it's innovation, and anything that we can come up with, any ideas we can come up with, at least somebody else at a later stage can benefit from it. Do you know what I mean? Even if we don't benefit from it, somebody else could, because it's not always about the money or anything like this. Sometimes it's more to do with innovating the space, making things safe for people, getting the community up there. And if it's good, it will prove itself, and the community will then, go on and promote it themselves, right? Good things, they don't hide for that long. People will find it out. But people who try too hard to promote and pump stuff, you know what they want to do. I mean, it's like, what was it? Casta, Kasta, Casta. The founder, he's actually Carl from the Moon. And I think he's got a million subscribers. And he literally wrote on his white paper that he had 15 years worth of experience in BTC or cryptocurrency. Bitcoin didn't exist until 13 years ago. So how did he get 15 years worth of experience? Never understood that. Never understood that. But that just, again, is to do with the hype. Do you know what I mean? It's to do with the hype. So, but we're not into the hype. Trying to do everything properly, trying to do everything transparent, open source. That's the key here. Try and open source everything as much as possible, obviously. Decentralize everything as much as possible. In the beginning, there will be some level of control. There will be slight level of control, mostly to do with the because we do have the NFTs come with perks and benefits. We will be doing some manual benefit deployment in the beginning until we can automate it with a smart contract. Then hopefully everything should be automated. Idea is once we can start building and developing it even further, to completely automate it, technically call it like an AI, but it's not an AI, right? You just put it all in the algorithm and get the smart contracts to do everything for you, and then just act like a boss, right? You'd be like, yeah, you know. So yeah, I watch trading, really good bloke. Trading reality. Okay, trading reality. Yeah, I mean, listen, there are plenty of good guys out there. Just the ones that I don't like is like the guys who kind of come in and shill whatever they want. Mostly shit coins, and the ones that are, oh, I'm buying this now, or I bought this now. No, nah, it's just wrong. It's wrong because you know what that happens most of the time, and we found this to be true. If you actually, there's a guy called Zach XBT, I believe, on Twitter. Follow him. He does kind of expose these guys quite a bit. What they do is they usually the big boys, right? And you know who they are. They'll mention something and then they'll sell it literally at that point because they're pumping it, and they'll sell it, and it's not. No, I can't do that. As I said, we've got like I've talked about buying 1,000 cryptocurrencies. Currently, I probably already have at least 100, 200 of them. I haven't even bought them, but I haven't even mentioned any of them. Even today's video, I mentioned the ones that are already there. So all the top 10, top 20 coins, I can mention those. But other than that, I wouldn't mention anything else. Unless somebody speaks to me, then I would say yes or no. So, yeah, sadly, it's true, my brother. Yes, a lot of crap out there. But as I said, most people, this is their bread and butter. So you have to have this concept as well. You have to really understand is where they're coming from. It's like, ah, when I watch some of these guys, like one of the channels, I won't even mention it, but I used to watch it because of all the jokes they used to do. But then it got too much. Eventually, I just took it off because they started scamming people. And I see Silent Sweep here. Awesome, my brother. Nice to see you as well. Yep, awesome. So, what was I saying? Yeah, I see these guys come on and they start like pumping these coins and then dumping it on the people, obviously, making a lot more money. And they were creating this massive buzz. And I understand because that's their bread and butter. They don't have any other income. They need YouTube to pay them. They need people, the viewers, the subscribers to, they need to scam them to make money. I was like, can't do that, man. So yes, trust me, I don't need YouTube. YouTube doesn't need to pay me anything. In fact, my YouTube channel is monetized and he's not here right now, but there is a guy who maintains my channel, like the thumbnails or whatever needs to be done, any stuff that correction. I don't even think he does it, but I've said to him, keep all the money. So that's pretty much whatever money comes, he keeps it. And I said to him, I said, when it gets to a certain threshold, you can give me 50%. So it's my channel, but I'm giving somebody else, helping a brother out anyway. If it helps him, if it helps his family, good luck to him. I don't really need anything from there. It's not like YouTube's going to make me a billionaire. Then maybe I'll think about it. But other than that, no. That's not the purpose here. I'm not here to create a massive community and then dump on them. Never going to happen. I want to stay humble. I want to stay peaceful, have peace of mind as well, and know, feel good to myself that I didn't do that. The very thing that I don't like myself. So um, but yeah, Silent Sweep says off topic, looking healthy. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Um, yeah, no, I was down. I was ill. Um, I was ill for a little while, and then I kind of recovered recently. So yeah, I mean, there was a few weeks where I was kind of down, very much seriously down, and then I recovered, and yeah, I'm just feeling a lot better. Honestly, feeling a lot better. So yeah. But yeah, I'll catch you soon anyway, Silent, because I know I need to see you. We spoke the other day and we're going to see each other. Hopefully, you don't get pulled into any scams or anything. Obviously, remember, be very cautious. If something's too good to be true, usually it is. So, if someone's trying to sell you profits, right? If someone's trying to sell you something and say, oh, this is going to make you this and this is going to make you that, take two steps back and, take a deep breath and say, actually, is it really going to? And if it is, am I going to risk everything? So you got to ask yourself that question and basically play it safe. There's no harm. You can always go in. It's like, okay, I was going to put 100, but I'll put $1 or put $10, right? Just play it safe. That's the whole idea here. Avoid the hypes. It's unnecessary. Unnecessary. You know. So talking about hypes, we are going to be creating some hype. So I'll just be transparent with you. Once Paradex is done, we are going to be doing a marketing campaign. So you might see some Twitter pumps and whatnot, but they're just there to basically tell the community about what's going on. Because again, the Twitter channel we have never promoted it. The Telegram never promoted it. What else we got? The website never promoted it. The Facebook never promoted it. Never ever marketed any of the products that we have. Just kept it on the silent basically. And now that we're almost ready, yes, there will be some marketing. So if you think it's a hype, yes, it is kind of a hype, but just enough to tell people what's going on. People can't just go in and just get something. No, there's rules. We have regulations that they have to follow. There's a whitelisting mechanism. In fact, when we talked about NFT, we're launching an NFT as a whitelist. So when someone goes in, picks up that NFT, then that NFT address, so wherever that NFT was delivered to, that address gets whitelisted. You can't make it more fair than that, right? So we're not just randomly picking anybody. We're actually picking authentic people who are interested in the project. So I'm not just getting everybody to come and join and grow some community and have whatever. No, 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 no. We're going to be deploying an NFT. And you buy the NFT, your NFT address is whitelisted. full stop. So we know you're already interested in this particular product. And yeah, so you can join the pre-sale, which is going to be at a discounted rate. And then of course we're going to have the main launch, and during the main launch it's going to be public. Do whatever you want basically. So that's that. And yeah, as I said, papers are going to be released soon. The website's going to be updated. The website is a complete mess. Also, I've just rebranded the channel as well, because we used to be SDCrypto. Channel's not SDCrypto anymore. It's now Shams Logic, just by my name. Just a little bit of logic here and there. And so I got to rebrand everything, the websites, the links and everything. So many different things needs to be done. But I'm taking my time, not rushing into anything, because there's no point. But other than that, guys, I think it's been quite some time now. I don't even know how long it's been. So we've been live for 1 hour, but as I said, all the links and everything are here. Market's looking super solid to me, especially on the monthly and the longer time frame. On a macro level, I do see the market moving up. Of course, we talked about this on a weekly, and we said how, yes, it could potentially have a dip and come below the green line, which is something we can totally expect, because we don't really stay above this green line the whole time. We do sometimes come down. So if we do come down, then don't panic, but that would be something awesome. As long as we're coming below the green line at a higher price, it's absolutely fantastic, and that's probability is a lot more higher. Custard says, see you later, bro, stay safe. Yes, Custard, you too, see you later, stay safe. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Steven says, we'll be keep watching. No worries, my brother, carry on. Thank you very much. I think the Discord link is there somewhere, but that might take you to the right or wrong place. I don't know actually. Let me just check. Hold on, I'm just checking. Funnily, the link does take you to the current server, which is good. So Shams Logic, SDCrypto, paradexes. So it does. So the link that you see on the chat, that actually takes you to the main server. And of course, I'm going to be posting a lot of like as usual. For me, it's easier to post something quickly on Discord than come on live and do this. And this is one of the reasons why I stay away from things as well. But yeah, definitely, I'll push something over if something comes along. And as I said, a lot of the community members in the paradexes, oh sorry, the Discord group, they are involved in the project. So I won't name any names, but some of the guys, you'll see them very active. If not, then they are part of the main admin group and everything as well, and they are actually involved in the project as well in some form or a manner. Because for me, it was a community thing. That means anybody and everybody's welcome to be involved in the project in one way or another, and of course, they become part of the team as well. So other than that, not making this any longer. Thank you very much for coming to the show. Like, share, and subscribe if you want to. If you don't, it doesn't matter. Thank you very much for coming. As I said, a lot of information, but if you do have something, please do leave it in the comment. If you're watching this later, if you have any questions or anything like this, do throw it in the comment. If not, then you want to talk to me. Best way is obviously, as I said, Discord. So join the Discord server, and then we can have a conversation there at some point. If I'm not there, then at least somebody else is there who can answer the questions for you. And I'll always try and stay real, stay humble, and I hope you guys pray for me to stay like this. Just be honest. You know what I mean? There's no point doing anything else. So just be honest with ourselves more than anything else. But yeah, other than that, adios, my amigos.